and a thick coat of fog has devoured the city of angels. We have been at sea for several hours, and now, 4 miles offshore from the California coast, there is no trace of shore, birds, whales, or dolphins. No sky or horizon, no point of reference. Charlie cuts the haze with the bow of the boat, keeping an eye on the radar and munching pretzels. My research team and I, damp and weary but still attentive, scan what little is discernible through the dense blanket of mist. The laptop computer is on, set to collect data at 5-minute intervals as dictated by my protocol. Binoculars and cameras are out. Hydrophones and plankton net are on deck, ready for deployment. We are silent, floating off the coastline above one of those ocean freeways called fronts, where merging distinct masses of water create a current or temperature differential in which a diversity of marine life tends to congregate. Against the soothing backdrop of this almost surreal SoCal day, I look down into the unknown, dark, liquid world so dissimilar from my own. Standing on the cobblestones outside the Trattoria Papaveri e Papere in Milan, northern Italy, now many years ago, Charlie and I had instantly become friends. Shortly after that, lovers. He has always been bright, charming, industrious, and endowed with uncanny humor and robust common sense. From the beginning, we talked almost every night. Our conversations extended into the late hours, sometimes lasting through dawn's first light. On one of those cold Milanese evenings, he shared difficult news. "I will have to go back to Los Angeles soon," he said with a mournful tone in his California accent. But then, as a shiver started running down my spine, he asked, "Would you move there with me?" I was 29, and in the blink of an eye, I let out a resounding yes, and I hugged him. Luggage packed and the Italian chapter of my life sealed, I headed 10,000 miles away from my country with a bachelor's degree in natural science, a job as a photojournalist, an ongoing position as principal investigator for a sea turtle study in the Celestún Reserve of the Yucatan, a prosciutto thigh, 2 bottles of Amarone, and a fresh set of dreams. We settled into a small apartment overlooking the docks of Marina del Rey Harbor, where I often watched the wondrous scarlet sky dimming into a pitch-black night. I couldn't have been happier. Scalawag was a 40-foot racing sailboat Charlie had kept from his regatta days, which now floated in her slip about a block from our flat. She was worn down by time and neglect, and in serious need of a makeover. We rolled up our sleeves, and in the course of a month or 2 brought her back to life. Aboard Scalawag, we sailed off Los Angeles every weekend. We were both drawn to the water like bears to beehives, for different reasons. For me, the Pacific Ocean meant quietude and boundless nature to explore. For Charlie, it was the much-needed respite from his frantic job. My husband-to-be was more comfortable at sea than in any terrestrial place, as if he had salt water in his veins. And because he understood and respected the ocean, Charlie had the soul and skill of an old sea captain. In his expert hands, I would have sailed to the moon. The ocean became our second home, pounding into a shattering Santa Ana breeze, lulled by gentle swells, rocked by a short chop. Sun-blasted or fogged in, we were there, blowing in the California wind. Charlie standing at the helm, relentlessly attentive, sailing as fast as possible as though he was dashing against a team of invisible racing boats. The farther and the choppier, the better it was for him. I would sit either caressing the waves with my feet or up against the mast, hands clutching the shrouds, gazing ever seaward, binoculars around my neck. I have never been good at idle. At sea or on land, I am a nosy bee, always probing my environment. Now, there it was, the Southern California Bight. To me, a new territory to be uncovered. I didn't know what yet, but unquestionably, offshore of this sprawling city and the raucous traffic of the Pacific